What's up? Welcome to the Virzi Triplets show. The tourist lava coming in hot. Dates are going to be announced. We have what? What you gonna
announce them? You don't have to. They're not going to be
Minneapolis, San Diego date now added. It's October 10th, or excuse me, October 6th. Excuse me, at the Laugh Factory in San Diego, and then we have a bunch of other dates. Feel free to check them out on our website, virzitriplets.com. Today, very funny comedian. Do you use comedian?
Comedian.
Or just comedian?
Yeah.
Monarey Martinez joining us.
Yay!
Big girl.
You should have seen the cringe on her face when you announced.
I didn't.
Welcome.
I just wasn't expecting it because he's just right next to me, and I was like, "Oh, that's a different person."
We
now.
told you the
coming.
TV host voice comes out, and it's a lot.
It was something.
Well, it's a show. You have to introduce the show.
I know, and I was even prepared for it, and it's still.
It's like if you have a bad host in like a mic, you want someone that gets the energy, and you don't want like a lousy, walk in.
I'm up now. I'm awake.
Exactly.
I drank coffee, and I was like, don't need to.
You literally stunned her.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I do. You were talking about ugly people off the podcast.
God.
You talked about ugly people and how they have to get married.
How they're trying to run the world now.
Yeah.
And they're gaining power, and they need to be stopped.
You said how ugly people don't know what love is.
I did not say, okay, I did not say they don't know what love is. I said people who tend to be, this is going to make me sound like such an asshole. They start throwing me under the
I was
bus,
going to say, this sounds something more like Alex would say.
Yeah.
This is not.
Well, I can relate.
Yeah.
I was trying to say that like people who tend to not be as physically attractive as, the norm in Los Angeles, sometimes they cling in their relationships faster because they don't have as many opportunities, so they like move faster. And that's just a thing that I've picked up on.
Well,
I think
agree with that.
I think that's true. I think a lot of if a guy gets a girl that like is out of his league, quote unquote, then he will try to like expedite the relationship. I think everybody does that too.
Right.
I don't know about ladies, but I feel like if ladies feel like they're dating up, they might have to like put the pressure on the man. And
or like hot guys, it's like everybody's like, oh, they have commitment issues, and it's like, no, it's because they have so many options.
Yeah, correct.
True.
You know what I mean?
True.
Well, the question
I'm glad you can understand our plight.
Oh, okay. Goodbye. We're done here.
The question I wanted to ask you is do you think two ugly people can make an attractive kid?
I think that with DNA, you never know. You never know. But I think usually probably not.
Okay. Oh, so you think ugly is just once you're ugly, it's
done
the
for the rest
genetics
of your life. Yeah.
Generations of ugly.
Yeah.
Okay.
You gotta get rid of them.
The family tree is just was it every branch along the way, the ugly tree?
I'm sure that like, there might be somebody who gets lucky or like knows how to like do their hair and their makeup and they can like make something of themselves, but I don't think if you got bad ingredients, how you gonna make a good cake?
It's true. It's true.
That's fucked up.
No, that's fine.
So fucked up.
Well,
we're joking. We're comics.
Well, I do think sometimes, I think ugly. I think there's two ugly people can make an attractive kid. I do think that happens. Where sometimes
when you get married, let us know.
Damn, married.
I'm just kidding.
No, you're not.
What do you think is the most unattractive trait in a man?
Well, I'm more of a mental person. So like
Okay.
I've had relationships with people who are not attractive.
Sure.
Like redheads with like freckles or whatever.
Ew. You've done favors, you've done charity.
Yeah, I try to be like really hospitable around those type of people, make them feel good.
Yeah.
Everybody needs a chance.
For sure.
But I think the most unattractive thing is I don't like cigarette smoking. I don't like this is gonna sound really fucking weird and bad. There's something with calves, with men's calves.
Calves.
I can tell everything. I can tell what kind of man you are. I can tell if you have courage. I can tell if you have integrity by your calves. I swear to God, because when they have small hips, when they're coming in, I'm like, this is a more dainty. He's not gonna stick up for me.
So, what do you think of guys with chicken legs?
I can't. I feel bad, but I just.
Oh, so you need big calves.
I just need. It doesn't mean they have to be muscular. Like I've dated chubby dudes, I've dated skinny dudes. Like
Ew.
I just can't have like feminine calves.
Okay.
No
so they
cankles.
gotta have some meat on them.
Yeah, they just have
no
to have some
cankles.
shit. Yeah, no cankles.
Okay.
No,
What do you think of my calves?
Those are good.
Okay, wow. They say I got chicken legs.
Oh, really?
Well,
No.
you're seeing his calves. You're not seeing our calves, which are the.
Sorry, the big boys coming to play.
You'll see your future in my calves right there. I already know it.
I actually read calves, not just palms.
That's
but
what I
also
thought.
calves.
Calf
The
reader.
vascularity, she follows the lines.
Circling back a little bit, you said you dated ugly gingers
Oh my
and stuff.
god,
Jesus.
I'm joking.
Well, no,
Yeah.
the stereotype online
Fucking
is
bus driver Alex. Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
dude.
Ugly fucking gingers, these pieces of shit. I'm like,
No, I think you're the one that said gingers have no
no, I
soul.
actually was really sexually attracted to him, which was crazy because initially he was also a little chubby too. So he was like redhead, freckles, and a little chubby. But I was like, oh, I fell in love with him because he was just so funny.
Yeah.
And
I
sometimes
heard that ginger dudes have big hogs. Is that true?
he had a great penis. It wasn't like huge, but it was like I had a great time.
Now,
Were they big, translucent, freckled penis?
Did glow
you
in
can
the dark a
see
little.
the blood glowing through.
That's how I found myself in the room after I brushed my teeth.
Do their penises look like a sausage where you can see the outer shell and
No, he didn't have translucent skin or
Okay.
anything. But like the nipples were lighter. Like,
Yeah.
Like lighter pink nipples.
interesting.
I
Like a puppy's belly.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, did you almost date a redhead? And what happened?
No, a redhead's one of the things I haven't. I would like to eventually hook up with a redhead. Middle Eastern girl is on and then an Indian girl.
It sounds like a hit list, these poor girls.
Well, no, those are just culturally. I like to have a wide palette.
Well, I was gonna say you talked about that you feel more of like a mental connection, where Alex currently is dealing with a problem. He's hit an impasse.
this has been every single week we've talked about.
Well,
this
it's
shit.
true. Well, Well, we want to no. get a female perspective because
Yeah.
listen, we're trying to direct it as from stuff that's not just
Sometimes
ugly
you get
people
run over by
content.
the bus too, Alex. It's not just you driving.
Well, no, this is actually and Monarey's actually a good person.
And I was
to
gonna
talk
say
to about
because he's kind of hit the point where like now he's like, okay, I've done all these random hookups. Not real.
Like, how many girls have you had sex with? Like ballpark.
Ball. I know. I think we're gonna say 38 is the number.
That's my angel number. It is.
We were actually talking about this the other
Yeah. I
day.
was like,
Just call me Angel.
no.
The fuck is for those that don't know, can you explain angel numbers to them because I had no idea what they were.
Yeah, I yelled at Mitchell the other day. I was like, an angel number? And he was like, what?
Yeah.
It just means like if you see numbers all the time, it's like God is communicating to me through symbols and stuff. Don't be a fucking idiot about it.
So what does 38 mean to you?
38, 38, this is the part where it sounds a little autistic.
This is where I started tuning out. Yeah.
Because 38, I could have 3 8s or 38s or it's 38. The 8 is the infinity sign of like abundance and material wealth, whatever, and then times 3. So I used to think it was 38, and I was like, no, it's 3 8s, you fucking bitch. And so I would write 888, and then like good luck happens to me.
And
So
then
you weren't
three of us. You got 3 8s right here.
Yeah.
So you weren't kidding. That was fucking stupid.
No, I'm genuinely intrigued because I just like we grew up with all brothers, so we don't really know about a lot
Right.
of this. Like astrology, we don't really know about angel numbers, things like you're very spiritual, so like
Yeah.
that's all stuff that we never really dove into.
Yeah.
our
I'm spiritual,
father.
but I'm a savage at the same
Yeah,
time.
no, 100%. But like our father wasn't like, hey, boys, come to the table. Today we're going to teach you about
it's 11:11. Make a wish.
Yeah.
No,
Everybody-
I was about to
You had
tell
a- you had a
a
joke
joke.
you said.
just
Sorry, go ahead, go ahead.
steamroll it. No, it's okay.
So our dad used to bring us over the table.
It's fine. It's done.
No, do it.
He
Don't.
does
Come
it
on.
numerous-
Come on.
It was going to be, hey, bring you over to the table. I want to talk to you about horoscopes, but you just trampled over
well,
it.
His was
Glad I
funnier.
did.
Yeah, mine was better. Okay.
It was just
What I was gonna say is Alex has kind of reached this point where he's not looking for something serious, but he's looking for a connection, and it's hard for him, especially because he doesn't really feel emotions.
Yeah.
So I was wondering if you could help him in this scenario. Like,
sounds
let me
creepy.
what can he-
That sounded creepy.
Sorry.
how can you help us? We'll put us. How can you help us be more in tune with ourselves and our inner voice and our conscience?
Well, you can be in tune with yourself by trusting your gut every single day.
Okay.
So when you wake up and you know you have that little voice that says something, trust. Well, if it's like attacking you, then I don't know. Then-
I'm more known to trust my nut is usually what I go with.
yeah, and no STD.
Nut over gut is our.
No
is our-
STD.
Nut over gut.
Nut over gut is what we
Nut
say.
over gut. That's merch right there. Line it up. But
Yeah, I don't. He makes it seem like it's.
Well,
you know.
I actually think I would say the most in tune Because my gut is usually if I have a gut instinct, my brothers will be like, oh, you're just being anxious. You're being, and then it's always right. It'll be 6 months later. And I'm like, this show that we were trying out for that eventually, what?
They both
because I'm right. Because I'm right.
Oh, you guys.
I was like, they were initially like, yeah, we'll put everything on the back burner. Like this looks good. And I'm like, no, we have to like keep doing it in case it doesn't work out.
Right.
Didn't work out. And then my brother's like, oh, well, yeah, I guess we got to go back to making stuff. I'm like, yeah, like I said.
In our defense, for me, I'm more of a manifester where I'm like, hey, I believe in this. This is going to happen. And I have the other guy just being like, why are you doing this? This isn't going to happen. It's bringing my chi down.
Oh.
This is how much of a This is how much of a manifester Sean is. Yeah. He begged Mitchell to return the Amazon stuff today because he didn't know how to get a return order for Amazon.
No. I think we talked about this last time. Sean will say things in a collective.
Yeah.
He'll say like, hey, we need to return these Amazon products. And what that actually means is I want you to do it, but I'm saying we as a way of making it seem like a group effort.
Sean communicates.
We are a team.
Yeah.
Sean communicates like a woman.
Do you guys want me to just tell you which brothers I'll kill and which one survives?
Actually, that would be nice.
Is that what this whole thing is? Because you're like, Sean does this and Alex does this, but Mitch. And I was like, I feel like we got to call Mom on the line.
I was just saying I trust my gut more than them. And my gut's usually right.
Yeah, you should trust your gut.
I agree.
Yeah, and you should meditate and eat well because that shit matters.
What helps you meditate? How long did it take for you to like really be able to just do it? Because I've tried a couple times, and I usually will get I don't say bored, but like I don't focus or like. My phone will text me. I'll get a text.
Your phone will text
me. You should be meditating near your phone.
Yeah.
Well, the couple of times I did, I put on like ocean noises.
Okay.
I put on like whale noises, and I was like,
giving birth. Yeah.
Yeah, whales giving birth.
Connected.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been meditating since like 2014, so it's been a long time. So it's like easier for me to tap in. But I think the easiest thing is like doing an app, like a beginner one. Like you start with like 5 minutes a day, just because it'll just keep you consistent. But I mean, there's tons of like brain scans that show that it's like it really does have an effect. And like if you have like a lot of fucked up, how you guys are all fucked up in your head, like how you're fucked, right?
Yeah,
I think you're really overthinking how much goes on in these. There's really not much going on.
Yeah.
At all.
Well, I believe that with you.
Yeah.
I think this one is a sweet little boy, and probably like his feminine is a little bit more out there.
Nailed it.
Obviously more masculine, but I think you could probably be manipulative, but not always in a bad way.
Probably?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Well, yeah, are manipulative, but I think that you have good intentions usually.
Oh my God.
She nailed it perfectly.
Could you tell her what he did yesterday? I didn't do anything wrong. It was, I was wheeling and dealing for us.
Wheeling and dealing for us.
We have when we book out for shows or like we cold call whatever, we have Alex call as our
Does he do the same voice he opened up with?
As our agent.
Even worse.
Even worse. When we're doing some shows on the road, or if we're trying to get on like morning television to promote shows, I pretend to be our manager and it's
Do you do an accent? Like do anything fun?
No, it's a very greasy salesman kind of thing, but it always works.
You should pretend to be someone with like, some type of ethnic background if you really want to go the next level.
Hello, I represent the Virzi Triplets.
All right, I regret.
I would believe that. I would trust that man. I would give him anything he wants.
I can't do a Jewish accent. That's why I didn't. I had to do Indian because that's the knee-jerk one.
Got it.
Russian is the other one he can do well.
Russian, Jamaican.
Yeah, that'll get you far.
Jamaican.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, man, I represent these triplets, man.
Oh, my God. Wait, okay, so you call, and then what? What was the whole story?
And then I just pretend to represent us. And they didn't like what I did.
It's just a slimy way of going about it, where he's like,
I'm working on a deal in the Midwest right now for the triplets.
Yeah.
And I happened to do the call while I was taking a shit yesterday.
Did you have it on mute? Like, what do you mean?
No, this was in the process of everything's out, and you're kind of just chilling, waiting to wipe.
He wasn't kerplunking it into the toilet.
But I'm wheeling and dealing here, and a couple of, I didn't say anything greasy. It was just like, I relate things to them. Where it's like, oh my gosh, like when they told me their name, it's like, oh yeah, I have a niece named that. That's going to be very easy to remember. Like,
You don't have any nieces.
No, I know.
Oh, I was like, I know that. Yeah.
This is where it gets.
So it's just stuff like that where it's like, it's relatable. I'm relating to them.
Okay.
I read the 48 Laws of Power. I don't know if you've read that book.
I am the 48 Laws of Power.
So they think it definitely was one of my slimy
he caps it off by saying, hey, listen, I'm about to go into this meeting, but your name? Okay, I'm gonna call you back in a couple hours, okay? Bye-bye. Hangs up and then just starts wiping his ass.
Oh my God, dude, you're a maniac. I was like, if you get more money or like more success, like
it's a pretty good deal for us.
Yeah.
It actually does look like a very promising offer.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a greasy guy, but it works out.
Right.
But that's what you want in a business. If you want an agent or someone, you want someone to be a little slick.
Right.
An agent is something you get when you get big enough where they represent.
Oh my God. I've been Me Too'd by an agent. I know what I'm talking about. Okay. I've been around.
Well,
I mean, that's Hollywood.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? Yeah, no, it's kind of weird because like stand up is kind of like a revolving door. So like you obviously mean well, but like at the end of the day, you're never gonna see anybody in the audience again.
Right.
Kind of the same thing with booking gigs where it's like, hey, yeah, let's get the deal, and then like you want it to turn out well, but if it doesn't, you're like, well, your problem.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want that.
Of course not.
I don't want that to be the case. Ideally, you want to leave you want to have a good show regardless of where you go, and you want a good turnout. Our big thing, I just want to make people money. That's the only thing I care about. Is like if we're performing and it's our name on the bill, as long as we make you money, I'm happy. But they don't get the business end of things.
How do you keep track of like, are you like, oh fuck, I told her I was Gigi, or like I told her I had a sister this, or like I was like, oh, your husband, he fishes, I do too. Like, do you ever get like trapped in all your goddamn lies?
No lies. I have a good memory, and I write things down.
He's a true. He just falls into the skin of the person he's talking to. That's
wow.
it. That's all he does.
Yeah.
He's Play-Doh.
American
He's Play-Doh.
Psycho.
He's whatever you want him to be. Yes, 100%. Yes,
Although,
Patrick Bateman.
I'm not going to lie. A couple of times I unintentionally do. Tim Dillon's tremendous. We love Tim Dillon. And fake business is, every time I think of it, I'm just like, this is all fake business where it's just bullshit calls.
Yeah.
You are now the fourth person to reference Alex as American Psycho on this podcast. It's only the fourth time. And we've only had 10 guests, I think. So it's a pretty high success rate.
Something about you.
Well,
soak in. That's.
I need to sleep with more crystals, I think, is what the problem is.
Well, duh. Yeah. Everybody knows.
One of my biggest red flags with a girl is if they have a Himalayan salt lamp next to their bed.
I do. And it's not next to my bed, but it's in my living room.
Yeah.
Do you think I want to like magic? Do you think I want to like crystals? Do you think I want this life?
Well, and you're a perfect example because you're insane.
Yeah.
So I know, like, the fact that you have one in your living room is a perfect example. Like, okay, there's red flags here.
There's a lot. There's a lot of red flags.
I think it's nice that you have them at least displayed. Some girls don't even show that. Like my ex did not show hers at all. I had to find out the hard way and spend 6 months doing it.
Fingering her, and then I found her.
It was in there actually. He had to dig it out.
Yeah.
No, his ex is interesting. She liked to drink, and she was a country club type of drunk.
Yeah.
An upper middle class drunk. I think it's the best type. Honestly,
like, is that like suburban, like,
yes.
or is that
very suburban?
Like
upper suburban drunk.
So like white wine, like just
vodka sodas,
a visor,
yes. Horse girl.
Oh, horse girl.
Yeah. Well, you can only be a horse. That's true. Yeah, you can only be a horse girl if you got a little bit of money. So
yeah.
Well, I also think that in a couple of years she'll get to the point where the booze doesn't quite hit as well. So it'll be, she'll start out with the booze and then a little Percocet in there.
Yeah.
And then it'll go, that'll be the trend.
Get on some SSRIs and then she's
living the dream.
Living the dream.
Yeah.
That's what everybody wants.
Crashes a Porsche. It makes her feel alive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then
that sounds pretty close to.
Wait, what did she crash?
Her dad has a Porsche.
It's like, can you tell me that I'm psyched? What was the other thing that I got right? I got something else right.
Oh, you said ugly people can have
Mitchell's feminine.
Mitchell is feminine.
Yeah, no, but I said something else about. God damn it, I don't know. We'll watch it back. But there was like 3 things I said right so far. I'm keeping track.
No, you're pretty spot on with some things for sure.
I know.
You definitely have the sense for it.
Do you believe in like premonitions?
Yeah. I mean, like, I usually don't see stuff about my own future, which is annoying, even though I know I'm going to be a millionaire. What?
No, I'm curious what futures you do see.
Oh, like I'll see other people's.
Okay.
Like one time I saw a comic overdose, and But yeah.
R.I.P. to Greg Giraldo. She could have prevented that.
Really, very ahead of
sorry.
it.
Yeah.
Do you have any? Do you have any premonitions for us since you're on the topic?
Well,
you can't
one
just
of you.
force.
Yeah, no, I'll give it to you right now.
Okay.
I was like, one of you is gonna be fat within like 2 years, like pretty fat.
How fat? Like, what are we talking?
Like if you had a niece or a nephew or something, and they come up to you and they're like squishy, like that's like fun for them.
Yeah, that's a good
like
fat.
that. That's it's like a fun fat.
A fun fat. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like fun fat.
Yeah.
You know.
Like cannonball, do a little truffle shuffle before.
You're gonna get somebody pregnant, but you're gonna like that she's pregnant.
Okay.
And the relationship's not gonna last for a long time,
Okay.
but it maybe like 10 years, and then she's gonna get sick of him, and then
and then she'll break it up because of him.
Yeah.
he's gonna get involved somehow because
Okay.
he's gonna be like, it's about money, it's about business, it's about this, and you're like, but what about my kid? What about my baby? And he's like, what about your kid? What about your baby? Don't you want a college like education fund?
Yeah.
Don't you want him to have a good car? And you're gonna get wrapped up in that devilish materialistic.
Well, it is true because when you are kind of dating one of us, you are
Dating all
you are
three.
dating all of us pretty much. So I
Exactly.
could definitely see that.
Yeah.
The past couple exes
I
I've
like
had.
how she said one of you is going to get fat, and then she didn't even go back to Sean. It was just that was Sean. That was Sean.
It could be you. It could be you.
No. She said mine later. She went down the line.
she hasn't
I
said
didn't
yours.
do
She hasn't
yours
said
yet.
yours yet. But
She did. She said I was.
we have.
No,
I have had some exes that have had like. I've talked about this
Pregnancy
before.
scares?
No.
Oh.
Thank God.
Abortion?
No. But
Can't talk about that on your podcast.
no, what I was going to say is they've had. I've tried to explain this to Alex because Alex will be like, yeah, I just treat them like they're one of you, like one of the brothers, and he's like ends up just treating them like shit all the time.
Yeah.
And then
No.
they're angry. Hold on. Then
No.
they're angry at them, and they give Alex shit. And why is she always angry? I was like, yeah, maybe because you're only pissing her off every time you see
Yeah.
her. And Alex is like, oh, huh.
Whatever. I vet them. If they're not able to handle some jokes,
You do that maybe
the
once.
relationship will not last long.
You do that maybe
Right.
once or twice, but Alex would do this for months.
Yeah.
And
You
I guess they still need to be vetted after. And also it's not up to you. Like you're not.
And vetting is a very weird word. You're
Yes.
like, okay, that's what you do to make sure
I'm
a
not-
pit bull doesn't bite you.
I'm not vetting them. I'm grooming them.
It's not your relationship either. So
Well,
you're like trying to
here's the thing. You just-
squeeze your way into this.
Also, he has said he does intentionally like, I'm just trying to piss her off.
I don't. Well, sometimes I do. Sometimes
there you go.
The one ex, I had a great time pissing her off. She was very easy
Do you
to piss
pretend
off.
to be different people to your ex too?
Oh, not my exes. My exes don't talk to me.
the one ex that we
His
had,
exes move like
move
states.
away.
Every single one has moved at least 3 states away.
Yeah.
like, and they all end up dating older men afterwards, like
Wow,
significantly.
mature people.
Yes.
And that's exactly what I said. I said
Yeah.
they will go date older men and suck a liver spotted cock
Yeah.
over dating Alex because they're like, oh, this is at least she's mature,
Right.
And they deal with this guy who's vetting them, I guess, the whole time. Hey, I'm just vetting you.
They didn't pass the test. They couldn't hang.
What
you got
are
to get
some
out
of
of
your
the state.
tests? Like, give us
There's
an
no-
example
there's
of a
no
test.
test.
What's the joke that you
I just
do
give.
for them?
I just make jokes in conversation, and I'm hilarious. There's one time, perfect example.
Such jokes
Perfect-
as, I'm going to fuck your sister.
Well, no,
oh
no.
my God!
Oh, that's
no.
all the time. That's shooting a shot. And Mitchell does the same. There's. I do.
It's a
we all do
numbers
that.
game,
Yes.
baby.
No, this
Hey,
is.
I like your dog. Yeah, mine's dead, but I like your dog.
That's hilarious. She's not. That's hilarious. Well, we have a running joke with our dead dog that we do all the time with everybody.
Yeah.
So yes, here's a perfect example. Sean changes. Sean will change, most likely to change when he gets a girlfriend.
Yeah.
That
Sean
was
will change
5
when
years
he.
ago.
Sean will change when he gets a girlfriend.
Change
Perfect
body types in about 2 years.
So I made a joke. We were all at lunch one time. I made a joke, and Sean was gonna laugh at it, but looked at his girlfriend and then didn't laugh intentionally. And I knew, okay, that relationship's not gonna last because Sean's changing himself for her, and she didn't like the joke, so Sean changed to her.
Are you trying to say that you're some sort of like relationship coach because I didn't laugh at a joke?
You change yourself. So yes, I do think I do.
How
Out of
did
your
you
how do
know-
you justify that?
But how did you know that he was gonna laugh at it? Like, was that just ego of you being like, that deserves a laugh?
Because he did. He held it in. He intentionally held it in. He covered his mouth like that and then looked over and like did that.
Maybe you're not that funny.
No. I know.
You've admitted that you intentionally.
It was a good joke.
Yes,
it was
thank
a good
you.
joke.
Okay.
But
But I don't do that anymore.
Hold on,
that was
sure.
that was half a decade ago.
here's the issue: is that Alex thinks he's some sort of savior. Because at the end, it ended up being that he was right. But he's like, I knew it was going to work out, so I helped my brother. It's like, no, you didn't. She had
Yeah.
plenty of other red flags. So did he. They both
like
did.
he's an asshole to your girlfriends.
Alex was intentionally an asshole to my ex for like the first 6 months, I would say.
Not
Do
intentionally.
you think because you just want all your brothers to be single like you?
No.
Do you feel like you're going to lose us? Is that why you do it?
Never
Here's the
thought
thing.
about it like that.
She would act like she could take it. So I was like, okay, I just play along with it.
Right.
But every single time
Yeah.
she hung out, he would
fairness,
like
hold
find
on.
ways to piss her off. He knows what would piss her
Yeah.
off. He knows what would piss her off, and he would
was
go
fun.
out of his way
He
to
likes
say
to
it.
push buttons. Do you like to do pranks?
We all love to push buttons.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah, but like, okay, for example, Monterey, you could probably attest to this. I know when to I know the limit.
Right.
I'm like, okay, cool. I can do it a little bit, and then I will stop. I'll hold on.
Right.
Dylan can admit to that too.
Yeah.
But Alex will just be like, oh, she's annoyed? Okay, let's keep going.
Yes.
And then just keep going, and then
Yeah.
ruin the dinner. Or whatever it is that
Right.
we're at, you know? And he thinks he's vetting, hey, just got to make sure.
No, vetting initially, but then yes, it's banter.
But when you keep
Here's the
keep
problem.
doing it,
Hold
then
on.
you're just
Banter must go both ways. It's
Then
not
you're
just
just an
one
annoying-
person.
Hold on.
You're just
Here's
an
the
annoying
problem.
asshole at that point.
Was she? No one considered my mental health in all this. This is the middle
Oh,
of the pandemic.
you don't have mental health. Knock it the fuck off.
This is the middle of the pandemic. I was bottled up. I didn't know how to show it, so I might have been a little. No one considered my mental health in this.
This has been
By
going
the
on
way,
for 10 years.
I smiled because the wheel and deal on my deal worked out. She just emailed.
Oh my God! Don't give
Alex
him
Monarey.
any confirmation.
So I gotta email her back, but
that's hilarious.
I just closed the deal, taking a shit.
Hollywood.
Good job. I mean,
Oh boy, that's
you're doing
hilarious.
something.
But back to the original point. Yeah, I like to be.
Oh, wait, no. You were going to give a premonition about Alex.
Oh, I was gonna say, Alex. Just be careful driving fast in your car.
He does get a lot of speeding tickets.
I drive a lot.
He did just
I
get a
only
speeding
have one.
ticket
I
the
only
other
have
day.
one on the record.
But he got another one that they cleared off.
Oh, okay.
So
Which,
he,
if the officer knew what would have happened with that ticket,
Well, I'm just saying, because if they pull you over when you're drinking, DUI, baby.
See,
He
I don't
doesn't drink.
though.
Oh, you don't
never,
drink at
never
all.
have.
Oh, wait, did I know that about you?
Possibly.
Okay.
I look like a douchebag that would drink all the time.
Yeah, no, you look like, because I just saw you driving fastly in a car. You're
Yeah.
not going to get in an accident, but like.
Oh, that's good then. Perfect.
Yeah.
Then thank you for that premonition.
Well, I mean, you're not going to die in an accident. I mean, that's good.
Do you think this is
car
crazy?
accidents are still scary and annoying.
Do you think this is crazy? I have no fear I'm going to die anytime soon. I don't think I'm going to die till a very long time. So I don't really think.
But
anything's
also,
gonna
death is like chill.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
death
if I
is
do
a
die,
vessel, and like this life is like not that big of a deal.
Sure.
And we're multidimensional beings, meaning we exist in other dimensions simultaneously. Obviously.
so I've disappointed women in multiple dimensions.
Yes. Oh,
there's
yeah.
women in
Multiple
other
timelines.
There's women in
Yeah.
other dimension dating
other worlds, other
50-year-olds.
realities, planets. Yeah.
What do you think happens when you die?
So when you die, you go like you still have your consciousness, like your consciousness, that like inside voice that you have is like still with you, and you're just like this like I've done it like on DMT or like other psychedelics. Like I die and then I come back because you can't keep me down.
So deep in the ether, you'll hear somebody go, Mitch, you're actually gay.
Yeah. No, but you're like this energetic, you're not like physical, but you like leave your body and you feel what it feels like to like be the stars or like be the moon or be the sky, and you're like, oh, this is like oneness, this is like one source energy. But you're allowed to reincarnate if you want to reincarnate.
So
Oh, it's an option.
It's an option, yeah.
Oh,
and I believe in reincarnation, so I don't feel bad for having
Do you
an
think
abortion.
Alex be reincarnated as a woman?
No. Do I think he ever will?
I think he
He
Probably
should,
will. Yes.
but I don't think his little baby soul is evolved yet.
Yeah.
You think maybe like a maggot or something?
He's like, this is so like you've had multiple lives. This might be his like first life.
Fair enough.
This
Interesting.
is first, he's just
so
a little,
even as triplets, even though we are,
yeah, you're all different souls.
He was
though.
a byproduct of our souls.
Yeah, exactly.
We
He was
created him.
excess.
Yes.
Yeah. And so this is his first time here. That's why he's not,
He doesn't
he's
understand.
not acclimating enough that like you guys have,
God, that
but-
actually makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Now that you say that, like he doesn't. Oh, I don't know. I don't have a connection. Oh, like there's so much
Yeah.
that makes it
He's
makes
never
perfect sense.
felt one.
his
His
soul
entire
is
existence.
underdeveloped. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you this. Boy, that was stupid. No. So you said, what does it feel like to be the moon and the stars?
It feels dope, and you don't want to come back down. And
It
then
sounds
you're
like a Pitbull song.
Yeah, it does. But
Reach for the stars, and if you don't grab them, at least you'll be on top of the world. Think about it.
bars.
Yeah.
Duh.
Yeah.
You rhyme it with bars or cars.
Yeah.
Well, you fall on top of your
Crashing
girl,
cars.
so-
Yeah.
Crashing cars.
Daddy. But no. So what is it? What does a star feel like?
It feels like when
No,
like,
go ahead and touch me. That's what a star feels like.
Oh my God. I'm so mad that happened. And I'm so
Even
mad.
I'm disgusted by that one.
I almost thought it was me. I was like, oh, I'm the star. And then I was like, oh, he's doing this about
I wasn't
himself.
believing that spirituality stuff, and then you said that, and I think everybody in their soul felt that.
Yeah. My
in a
soul
mile
left
radius.
my body.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just like, we don't want to be down here anymore.
That just
Yeah.
Even
the
I admit
ick.
that was disgusting.
It was like in Space Jam where you get infiltrated.
Yeah.
The creepiness.
No, but for real, what does a star feel
It feels like okay, so like when you when people say like when you fall in love or something, you don't know, but when you fall in love and like you feel like a physical sensation.
Yes.
So like you can, when you cross over or whatever, if you do DMT, you do through meditation, whatever, it feels like you just have this like giant shooting like thing of love like all throughout your body that you feel like you
Yeah.
don't have a physical body anymore. So it just like complete, and then you feel like it just feels like this whole entire like center like in your chest. It almost feels like there's like heat and like bright light like all on it, and you're like, oh, like you understand and like have like a feeling of just like being like, you ever watch like a flame, like you feel
Yes.
like what it's like to like be like a flame of like energy, and it feels amazing, and you don't want to come back down to earth, and then you're like, fine, I have to pay my rent, I'll come back. But yeah, that's my battle every time.
Yeah, usually, the shooting sensation of love usually lasts like 5 to 10 seconds for me.
So do you
Oh
think?
my God.
Do you think that being successful as a comic or like having a lot of money will help
Mm-hmm.
you maintain that state of like being a star?
Wait,
Figuratively, not
being a star. Wait, what do you mean?
Like you said, the
Spiritually.
spiritually,
Yeah.
like feeling like
I mean, spiritually, I don't think anything materialistic is gonna help you. Like
Okay.
you have to. That's the whole point of life. Is like you constantly have to balance like shit here. Like you have to make money and you have to do your fucking dishes, or you know what I mean. You don't do the dishes.
He doesn't.
I just-
waits for
I
I
somebody.
just did them today.
doesn't cook.
I just did them
he
today.
did unload
I'm
the dishwasher.
spot
You are pretty spot
on.
on though.
Yeah.
I also don't really use dishes either. I just use paper plates. That is true. We are a very paper plate heavy household.
Oh my God.
Well, if that's the case, how do you find fulfillment here then?
I don't a lot of the times, and I just know that I'm better than everybody, and I know that I'm better than Earth, and I just came down here to help everybody, and
Okay.
then I'm gonna go back up.
Who have you helped? Just name a couple right on the bat.
It sounded like Alex there for a second.
Yeah, I was like I've, there's a lot of lives that I've changed. Just men getting to interact with me. I'm like, I just saved you. Like
Interesting.
I just gave you love and light.
I'll make
You
sure
know
I
what
don't
mean?
knock up somebody and then stick with him for 10 years and then leave.
Go
Yeah.
to the gym.
Okay. Interesting.
See?
Okay, so what do you think the meaning of life is?
I think it's just an experience. I think that everybody, some people have purpose, some people have missions, like I do, obviously.
Sure.
I was an Nefertiti in a past life, and I had to teach people about source energy.
I always think it's funny that girls that live in past lives think they're this big spiritual goddess or like,
queen.
Cleopatra.
Yeah.
But not like, just a mother or
Oh,
something.
I've had other past lives where I was an orphan a lot.
An orphan.
Yeah, I was an orphan. Okay. One life, I was an orphan in a lot of my lives.
You know, that's funny that you say it because you look like Nefertiti mixed with an orphan.
Yeah, well, I do look like Nefertiti because she's gorgeous or whatever. No big deal.
And then the orphan comes in. That's why you have the big eyes.
Yeah, I'm like, feed me. I want soup. Like, does anybody have a blanket?
Mom, where's mom and dad?
Yeah, mom and dad. No, those words are foreign to me. Yeah. But which is funny because I kind of am an orphan. I mean, I technically have a mom and dad, but like not really. They're both like drug addicts or whatever. But so anyway, one lifetime I was around. This is what a psychic first told me. So this is like not a past life I experienced.
So it's a real PhD expert.
It's a credible source.
Yeah. Intuitive woman. Yeah.
I saw it on a tarot card. Yeah.
But she told me that I was in Africa, like during the slave trade. And my
You didn't stop it?
No, I was black. Duh.
Oh God. Well, I didn't know.
Can you tell by my cool style?
You've been so many different ethnicities in your lifetime.
Sorry. But and I was too young for them to take me because I was only 3. So they took like my parents, my brothers, and my sisters, and they just left me. And I was like running in the jungle or whatever.
At 3?
Yeah, because they just stole
an orphan
my
once again.
Yeah.
This sounds like the Jungle Book. I'm not gonna lie. Now I made friends with a bear and a snake.
Wait, hold on. Yeah.
Monterey Mowgli.
Yeah. And then I go. I tried. A monkey tried to help me, but I was scared, and I was like, I don't trust this monkey, and I went running, and then a lion ate me. And this is when I was dating Matt, and Matt was like, I think the psychic just had like Jungle Book on, like for her kids, and literally just gave you the plot for your past life. And I was like, no, I felt it, man. Yeah. But
so in your past life, that life, you were an hors d'oeuvre for a lion.
Yeah, I got 8 at 3.
Interesting, because I don't remember anything at 3 years old, but you remember the entire existence of 3 years
she
old.
remembered it, but the past lives that I have experienced were when I was in Egypt, where I was on acid, and I like totally like felt that one. Mm-hmm. And but most of us have, I don't know about you guys, but most of us, if we have missions in this life, we probably had missions in other lives. We just keep coming back to like, fulfill
that reminded you of? Cleopatra invented the first vibrator. Have you heard that?
No, how?
Well, she stuck bees in a tube, and then when she wanted to,
I feel like you're lying.
No,
it's a fact.
She would shake up the bees to make them angry, and they would go off the walls, and then that was the first vibrator.
That's dope.
Yeah,
I love that.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
That was just that whole
my first life was testing that vibrator.
Yeah,
in my asshole. Yeah.
Do a lot of the women in your lives have vibrators, and that's why that was an interesting.
See, it's interesting. I've had.
Well, let me call mom.
Mother.
I've had many.
Mama.
You said there's missions, right? Throughout your life, you have like the same mission, right?
Yeah.
And my mission has been, and this is past lives too. Like I've explored with Lewis and Clark. Like I get it. Like my mission has always been
manifest destiny.
To satisfy as many women as possible, and I've done that.
And I'm
at a 90% O rate throughout history.
Yeah,
let's call some of the women.
Now is this why your ex drank so much?
Or
she couldn't stop shaking. She had to get something to calm her down,
or sought others, perhaps allegedly. Who knows?
I don't know what our mission would be. That is very interesting.
To prove that triplets
are funny.
No, not that. To prove that triplets can be individuals.
But throughout our
past
existence, this is Alex's first lifetime.
Yeah, you guys haven't been triplets together. You got one of you is probably a dad. You guys always come down in pods together. So like one of you guys could have been married. Like you could have been, dad, a mom. You're not a mom.
Well, we've always been linked.
You're linked somehow. Yeah.
Interesting. So what drug should we take?
Acid.
Acid.
Yeah,
okay.
acid. I mean, all of them.
Shrooms
acid,
is a potential.
Shrooms, DMT.
I might do shrooms later.
Yeah.
This year.
But you have to do at least. Here's the thing: everybody doesn't do enough. You have to do at least 3.5 grams. Like if you really want to go to the other side and like see some shit and talk to some shit.
Well, after talking to you, I don't know if I want to.
Do you know who Jeff Leach is?
No,
he's a comic. He's a comic.
He's offered to take us to Joshua Tree and do shrooms for the first time.
Oh, so you guys have never even done it at all?
No,
I've only drank.
I haven't
smoked a cigarette. I've never smoked weed.
Oh man, I've
never drank.
You got to do shrooms or ayahuasca. Come on.
Yeah, ayahuasca is the big. I think you got to kind of work.
Yeah, you got to work fine. Yeah, if you're gonna be a pussy about it.
Would you do shrooms with us in Joshua Tree?
We do them right now.
Yeah. I love shrooms. They really help.
I'm the only one that's even. I'm the only one that's even smoked weed. I would definitely be open to shrooms.
Party boys here.
I don't brag.
Oh, the naughty boy.
I'm not gonna brag or anything, but I did rip a ciggy the other day.
With Robbie Pugs.
Oh yeah. Is he been peer pressuring you?
No, I just if I smell it, I'm like, God damn, that smells good, and then I have one.
Oh.
I will say, I'm
trying to weed off other. They for some reason think that I am addicted to alcohol, and I completely disagree.
We're not getting on that topic again.
He does this same cycle of you know what, I'm done. I'm sober Kai. Hi-ya, we're not drinking anymore.
Sober Kai.
Yeah, that's what he calls it.
And then
Chris Stefano is
it lasts 2 or 3 days, and then he's drink like tonight. He'll probably drink tonight.
Maybe.
And he'll be like, and then Monday he'll have a man. I'm done drinking. I drank all weekend, but I'm done. I'm gonna be sober Kai. Hi-ya. And then a couple days later, he's back on the wagon again.
But why do you keep like quitting?
He doesn't actually quit.
It's not that I'm not quitting.
But I'm saying, why do you keep saying you're quitting? Like, why don't you just be like, oh, let me reduce it, or let me?
He's a quitter. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's not that. I think I'm too hard on myself on a lot of things. That would be one of them. So if I'm like, oh, there was no need to drink that much, but I did.
Right.
Then I'm like, you should probably not be doing
There's
that.
never a need.
Right.
I know, but it's fun.
Why do you like to drink so much?
It's fun.
But like, what's fun? Like, what part?
Honestly,
like, are you just, in your room, like by yourself?
No.
Like,
If we're being honest, it's probably a distraction from actually doing shit.
Right.
It's a good excuse. It's always around too, which is nice.
It's a vice. Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely a vice. But
everybody has a vice. Yours is pussy. Yours is
Not recently, no.
Okay, but that was your vice.
Well, yeah, it's good. It feels good.
Well, now lying to people on the phone, pretending to be an agent, is your new vice.
I manage the triplets. That's a fact. I manage the Virzi Triplets. Look, it's not my fault.
Same as Alex. I mean,
my middle name is Monarch.
The truth is stretched a little bit.
No, it's not. But I
continuing is lying.
I got mad because I was like, I'm a monarch.
Are you?
In a different life. I was a monarch in a different life, okay?
And look at my name, Monarey. That's like basically spelling monarch.
Yeah.
If you make the E, listen.
That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
If you make the E is kind of a C and then you flip the Y upside down,
yes.
monarch and Monterey, like in what's that word? Latin,
Monotone.
or I think it's Greek. No, in Greek it means like one noble, and then Ray in Spanish is king.
Yeah. Okay.
A lot of different
noble
languages
king.
you're mixing.
No.
It doesn't matter. I'll do whatever I want.
Latin and Spanish.
Latin,
to get to
Spanish,
Is this what
Greek.
it's like to date a Puerto Rican? Is this a
Yes.
normal common thing with
Oh
them?
my God, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, like where it's like it's like weird. Like I'll date somebody and all of a sudden like they'll like love me and they're like amazing, whatever, and then all of a sudden they start like talking back to me. Or
Shocker. God forbid.
Oh, you mean a conversation?
they start talking back and then they start like putting me in my place and then like checking me and I'm like, okay.
Well, no, I don't. I don't know
doing?
who would do that. If I was talking to someone that kept saying I was a queen in a different life, you don't understand. You might want to be like, hey, well, maybe. What if you weren't?
No.
You realize you also just made something for Alex. He's gonna be like, listen, I was a king in another life.
I know. That's
And
why I'm like,
now
ugh.
he's going to.
I'm not.
But
that
he's a first
stupid.
lifer.
First life.
He's a first lifer. Everybody can tell. It's like,
Who do you think is the oldest
I'm a
lifer?
pro-lifer.
Obviously, he's a first lifer, but who do you
Mitch.
think? Mitch is the eldest,
yeah.
which is funny because he's the baby of the group.
Well, doesn't matter.
It's like, hey,
It's
I don't have
about
to
soul.
Thank you.
Okay.
He's an old soul, literally.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, I'll be the first one to say that's stupid.
No.
Are you? All that's
Yeah,
kinda
but like
dumb.
you're stupid. So what you think is stupid has no validity.
He's saying what you believe is stupid, yet he's like, I have no connection with anybody.
Right.
So it's like,
I also believe heavily in manifestation. So
That's because you're materialistic. So you're like, however I can get what I want, I'm gonna.
No,
do
I believe like in universal like I believe the universe can be manifest is what I believe.
Yeah.
So, well, if I tell
like for example, he had a crush on this girl for a long time in high school, and he kept manifesting that he was going to go out with her, and he asked her to get
she
froyo
died.
28 times,
it wasn't that many,
and she said no every time.
it was over 17 times.
the first time. Okay, we'll go back to this.
Right.
She was dating a guy at the time for a couple years, and I first hit
Please
on
give
her.
all the details.
So she was dating a guy for a couple of years. Gorgeous girl. Big, juicy,
That's the only reason why
voluptuous
you liked her.
personality. And when she was working at a Hollister, she had a boyfriend though. So I went up to her and I said, "Hey, listen, hi, I'm out. Look, I think you're the most beautiful girl in the world, and if you're ever single, I'd love to take you out sometime." That was my line. That was 16 or 17 at the time. So that's a good line for 16 or 17.
Not really. It dries them up real quick.
And then did you buy a pair of shorts? Jean shorts? White jean shorts?
I did not buy any.
Bought cologne.
I did not buy any. She's like, oh my God, that's so sweet. Thank you. So immediately I made myself a simp right off the bat. So that after that, there was no turning back. It was either going to work and she was going to leave her boyfriend and date me, which wasn't going to happen. And then from there on, I was put in the friend zone.
Yeah.
Now that's where Mitchell lives. So he became very familiar with it. And then after that, I just kept trying to ask her out. Once she was single, and it just didn't go well. It was not.
So that was like probably your first serious rejection, and now that's why your heart is all hardened over, because the first time you get like rejected, like that's how you start acting in your relationship.
I didn't even get rejected because she had a boyfriend.
Rejected.
She had a boyfriend.
Not only did you get rejected, not only did you get rejected, you got rejected numerous times.
Well, it's a numbers game. It's just like doing stand-up. You have jokes that...
Wow, you're so in denial about it.
I'm not saying I didn't get rejected. I did get rejected.
Should we all just chant no to Alex's face over and over and hope that it seeps in?
I mean, yes, I've gotten rejected many times, but it's just like going on stage where it's just you have to keep doing it.
I think Monterey nailed this. This is like very indicative of you, because you always think that you can just fuck anybody you want or date anybody you want. That's and you just like... It's like, of course I can get him if I want.
Why? But here's the thing. It's like Michael Jordan. Why would I envision missing
You're
a
not
shot?
Michael Jordan.
Why would I
You're
envision...
a 5'5".
Why would I envision missing a shot that I haven't even taken yet?
Because your track record says you can't make shots.
Doesn't matter.
It does.
Matter.
It very much matters.
If I've learned anything in my old age...
It's a big if.
You're the youngest here.
It's that you should never underestimate a girl's insecurities. That's what I've learned.
It's a valid point.
So now I have more confidence in
I
shooting
can't
my shot.
possibly understand why your exes want to date older men.
I'm
kidding. I don't get it.
I'm kidding,
We don't know.
but it's also kind of true. But that's what I'm saying. I have a Michael Jordan approach with it. It's the same thing. If you go on stage, are you imagining that you're going to bomb every time? No, you go in there and you go.
But you also have jokes that you've tested and worked.
But sometimes you go.
The work has been done.
But even then, there's never a guarantee.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Exactly. But Michael Jordan's the same way. He's practiced a million shots. Eventually, one of them's going to get missed, but he's not envisioning that he's going to miss the shot. I just blew your mind. That's okay.
No. Of all the stuff that's been said on this podcast today, I think yours is the craziest.
Dylan, do you understand what I'm talking about?
Dylan, don't give it
Am
to
I
him.
crazy?
He has no
doesn't
idea.
understand.
He shook his head.
Well,
no.
Dylan doesn't talk to. He's an incel, but no, Dylan's got a lovely girlfriend. Yes. Anyways, do you get what I'm saying?
No.
Okay, well, that's because you're in some fucking foreign universe right now, and
She's on the moon. We're trying to bring her
So
back.
wait, are you more? So you're more spiritual as opposed to? Do you like do the astrology shit as well?
I'm not like, I like it, but I'm not. I don't like read people's like charts or anything.
Yeah.
But like I understand that there's seasons and things are cyclical and things like do have like an effect.
Here's my thought.
I will say. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Here's my thought on astrology. Okay, I treat people that like astrology like I treat people that like QAnon. Like the further in you are, the more I'm like, okay, you're getting a little out of touch here, you know?
Yeah.
Where like if they're astrology, like, there's 12 moon signs, right?
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
okay, let's calm down here. All right,
That's
let's maybe just
okay.
say, hey, like, you're a Gemini, that's cute. Like
I will say
kind of the same vibe.
You actually
Yeah.
made the best argument that I've heard for astrology, because I thought, and most people think it's just a big crock of shit.
Yeah.
You make everything as vague as possible so that people at some point can relate to it.
I wouldn't even say that. I think that just being in Los Angeles ruins the novelty of it. Because
Don't be upset at him. You do the same thing to him earlier.
Everybody talks about it all the time. So it's like, it kind of takes away what it would. Like, that people use astrology out here as an excuse.
Yeah.
Well, what I was going to say is the point that you made, where you had said that everything's horoscopes and everything, they're all based off like water signs, correct?
Or not water. There are water signs. Wait, what do you mean? They're all based
Air,
on
water, earth, and
Fire.
Yeah,
That's what Bruce Lee was saying.
Elementals.
Be like
something to do with
water.
fire, the moon, the stars. Water's controlled by
Elements.
the moon,
Right.
the elements, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, that doesn't mean shit. And we were like, but your body is 70% water. And I'm like, you know what? That's actually the
Yeah.
very best argument I've heard for it.
And the moon
that
pulls on the
makes
ocean,
sense.
Yeah, well, and not only that, but it's too where it's like before people did had the scientific method, people used to they used to look towards the stars, or they would do alchemy, and they would do this type of science where they would just be like, okay, if the moon's here at this time, this means that the harvest is going to grow more. If the harvest is growing more, then animals are going to come in. If the animals come in, then we'll have more meat for the winter. It's there's all these things that nature, once they're going, that's something that you can count on. And so it's oh, when this is here, this is that. So it's it's just a way to, people could look at a star and be that's north, and then they can, feel the wind, and they're hey, this is coming from the southeast. It's a way, it's a map like that.
Yeah. So also, I wish you would have seen the way Alex's face lit up when you said alchemy, because I'm sure we have an aunt that does alchemy.
Oh wow!
She makes home remedies, and she's crazy.
I love it.
She's
I love it.
she's a nut job. You don't want her on your team.
She said,
call her up. Time coming over.
She said she can cure concussions.
Yeah.
I don't hear anything. What?
Yeah, I hear nothing wrong.
No,
with that.
my curiosity was when there's a harvest. You said the moon affects a harvest. For you, what does that mean?
It means that Mama's ready to eat. It means
so it's just you're hungry.
No, it's a literal harvest.
Eat semen.
Yeah.
It's a sign of a sign of abundance.
Okay. Well, here's why I believe in astrology. I do believe in that it's possible, because if I was a gal, and I've heard this, and I believe it's true. Yeah. If I was a gal, and girls have periods and stuff.
Yeah.
And if I was around a group of gals,
he goes like this to demonstrate period. He's
yeah. Well, that's the harvest leaving the body.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If I was a gal and I'm around a group of other gals regularly, but there's an alpha gal, and my body changed to sync up to that girl, just because she's more of an alpha, I could understand how astrology might have some meaning. Because if I, as a guy, if my boners were were based on another guy's, boners, testosterone, by being around them a lot, then I could understand how.
Right. I think
astrology
period
makes sense.
syncing up is more so biology than it is. I think it's hormonal. I don't think it's really astrology based.
Do you think it's so they sync up because it makes it easier if they all sync up for guys to avoid that group?
Yeah, they just put them in a shed.
I was gonna say it's also that's what a she shed is.
Yeah,
isn't it?
she shed.
It's also they say when you date, or people that you date, you start to tend to look like them, the people you hang around. I could see that being true too.
Yeah.
Do you think maybe do you have any explanation as to why women's periods are like a Wi-Fi and everybody can connect at the same? They sync up.
I don't. I think it's something to do with hormones, where what's the pheromones get released when we like people or whatever. Mm-hmm. I think it's a thing like that. There's some type of releasing of hormones, and we all
we can feel it right now. We can.
You can feel my hormones.
Yeah. Can you sense pheromones? Have you ever gone to a room and been like?
I know that I'm magical, and when I walk in, and if I am, and I'm what, and so if I walk into a room and I'm just sometimes I have to put my magic away because I'm everybody's gonna try to have sex with me.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is that just your tits, or is that?
No, I have to
no, those disappeared.
Hey, I can wear a push-up bra. You don't know my life. Thank you.
But I think you're like me. We both have
delusional.
No.
Wow.
Yes, we both have visions of ourselves. But
I can prove it, and I'm you know what I mean. I have a track record.
Well, this is what you think. You walk into the room, and you're walking down these big Cinderella type stairs, and you're beautiful. Everybody's staring, but
it was actually a pyramid in Egypt.
And then the Ottoman runs over to you.
But in actuality, you're just this. You have a witch hat and this big gown. What?
Alex, is that somebody? But Monarey.
But he's Alexander. His actual name is
Alexander. My full name is Alexander the Great.
No.
Historically, that's.
But also, I'm just going to note for the podcast viewers, Alex also said this the same exact thing to Rob. Hey, we're pretty much the same. To try to find he can't find common ground with anybody.
Gigi, you and I are the same. That's why we should do this event together.
He tries to. He's everybody agrees there might be something wrong, and then he tries to bring you in on his wrongness.
No. I'm saying we both have we both see ourselves differently than how the world might see us.
Oh, I think the world. Only
which world?
Insecure people wouldn't see my greatness, but everybody sees my greatness. How could you not?
Especially bookers.
Yeah.
If I said this shit everybody would think I'm a psychopath.
You do say this shit. What are you talking about?
But if she gets it, it's like, it's astrology. Like,
Monterey can back it up.
Yeah.
With what?
With
She has a passport from the moon. Duh.
Hello.
Yeah.
You have a moon?
Yes. No.
She's got moon rocks in her room.
Now, real quick, you did mention something about crystals and rocks. I know that there's a couple. I think Maldivite is one of them. Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maldivite.
Yeah.
Aldivite. Al
Is right.
Oh no.
No.
Oh no.
Wait, that makes sense to me because 38 could mean 3/8, and that could be 3 infinities, or it could,
Yeah.
So why does Maldivite not mean Allie's right?
Because you know what? It's a little too rhymey. It's a little bit too making
But that's how I
much sense.
see the universe is calling out to me because I see things in rhymes. So the universe is I'm like Dr. Seuss. In a past life, I was Dr. Seuss.
Oh, you could have said Eminem, but you went with Dr. Seuss. That's
Well,
very
Eminem
weird.
and I are still alive right
He has
now.
an Oedipus
Yeah.
complex. That's why.
Oh.
Yeah. Just like Dr. Seuss.
Did he have an Oedipus complex?
Yes, he did.
There's a great poll for that.
Anybody else knows that
I don't
Dr.
know.
Seuss wanted
What
to
does
bang
that
his mom?
mean, though?
Oedipus.
He wanted to. Oedipus is an old Greek tragedy where this kid eventually bangs his mom.
Oh. Why
He
is that
grows up
tragic?
and then ends up banging his
Yeah.
mom.
Yeah.
Because the kid was outcast and they meant to kill him as a kid, but then he ends up
Oh.
Falling in love with
Like
his mom.
he raped his mom?
No,
Or-
no,
They
no,
fell in
like,
love,
they
and then
fell
they
in
found
love.
out that he was his mom.
How did the mom?
Because they left him to die in exile, and the
Oh,
kid
so
ended
she
up
didn't
living.
know.
But then the kid grew up,
had
and then they
cougar
fell in
fetish.
love, and then ended up.
They found out he was mom,
Dang.
and then he carved his eyes out.
Yeah,
Dang.
yeah. And then Dr. Seuss
guy.
also had a
Great
thing-
reference,
Dr.
Mitch.
Seuss had a thing for his mother. That's if you read deeply into some of the.
I heard he had a thing for whores and drugs.
Is your mom hot? Do any of you have a thing for your
Mom's
mom?
attractive.
I don't.
You breastfed till you're 15?
No.
Sean has.
Because I like blonde hair, blue eyes. Like that. My mom's blonde hair and blue eyes. But that's
Yeah.
a lot
Well,
of people.
thanks
like
for
like-
thanks for distracting onto this topic, Mitchell. Jesus Christ.
No, what?
Did I tell you about there's a guy that likes to fucking oh my gosh. Yes.
Have
that's
you
a
read
great
the
poll.
Iliad by Homer?
You know, I'm sorry. I'm smart, and I have something to actually contribute, and not
I'm
be like,
smart.
and not actually, just I like to.
Because that's what people come to this podcast for smart.
Right.
It's a great reference. I'm sure many people will get the
Dylan
Dr.
got it.
Seuss Oedipus reference.
That
Dylan,
is a-
did you get that?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did. There we go.
Dylan's an idiot.
He doesn't want to get involved.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we got to give Dylan a mic one of these days.
Oh no, we were talking about the crystals. So, do you either go to a gem market, because I know some people do that, or do you charge your rocks in the
Yeah,
sun?
of course.
Okay.
And the sun and the moon.
In the moon. Oh, I didn't know the
The
moon.
fuck is your problem?
You got night
Yes.
rocks.
you charge your rocks.
Yes.
Crystals.
Crystals.
Excuse
Yes.
me. You charge your crystals.
Yes.
It's a pretty.
Nobody.
But what do you do? How do you know when they're fully charged?
You just leave them under the moonlight for a night.
They're solar powered.
And then they're charged. But how long
well,
do they
because
last?
they're endothermic. So it's like if you put heat into it, it can produce light. But if you put light into it, it can produce heat. And so you set an intention, you program. Have you ever heard of the placebo effect? You fucking
have.
idiot.
I have.
So it's a thing that scientists have to include in their goddamn data because there's such a high probability that the placebo effect gets
It
people
seems
to-
like something these crystal salesmen include when they have clients like you.
yeah,
Can I
no,
ask you?
Simon.
how
do
big
you
is your
have?
QVC account that you have?
I've never ordered anything.
Do you have a rock or a crystal on you of any sort right now?
Yeah, in my bag that's over there.
Okay.
I kind of want to see it.
Can I get it?
Yeah.
Now, if I called you a gypsy, is that a derogatory term?
Yeah, if you just zipper the front. Okay, you can hand this away.
Well, no, because I know.
Hold
Hold
on. How long was this? Can I get the? How long was this charged for?
Usually I do it on a full moon, and I just do it overnight.
There was a full moon recently.
Yeah.
So what do we got here?
This is
Okay, this is her charged. What is this?
This is blue calcite, but it helps with like speaking and speaking clearly and communicating.
What you need for a stand-up comic.
exactly. That's why I carry it.
Well, I know that certain ones have more power than others. I think is it Maldivite that's a really strong one.
I mean, they all have strong. So it's like, here's the thing. So you're looking at it, you're like, ooh, it's just a rock. Okay, one, but everything is molecules, and so their pattern, okay, are just like high vibrational molecules. So it's not saying that like if you do this, you're like, duh, like you're gonna get magic out of it. Like
that's what I'm seeing. When you say this stuff, that's exactly
it, you fucking idiot.
You have no idea how when you gave that to me. If that was a smaller rock, I was so tempted to swallow. That was the first thing I thought of is I want to eat this thing.
Mad if I swallowed my fucking crystal.
And then I'd be like, look, I'm fucking charging it for you.
I have to shit it out
for you.
No, but it's like it's the whole entire point of it is like intention. It's not like, oh, if I go like this and I'm like, okay, no, I'm not sad about my breakup. Like we're not fucking idiots. Like it's setting intention. So
it's almost like a reminder.
Well, it's like a placebo effect. So if you're a cancer patient, like, and they tell you like, okay, if you don't believe, then you're not gonna ever like get out of that state if you're doing chemo. So like this is saying, so like when you have a crystal, you set your intention in it where you're like you're pouring your energy into it. It's like saying a prayer. Where you're like, okay, like you're setting an intention, but you're having a physical remnant or a physical object that you're like, okay, that you're programming this energy into, so this way
you this crystal, for you as a white girl, is the equivalent of a
Martinez
of a crucifix for any Latino woman.
Wait, wait, what?
The crucifix that they pray into, that is your white girl crucifix.
Right, that's our white girl crucifix. But like there is like actually, I just don't remember any of it. But there is some science to crystals. Like, there is some science.
You know what? I'm sure the millions and millions of years, billions of years, rocks have been around. They're like, I can't wait for one day some fucking. Well,
some rocks are more valuable, so there is definitely something to it.
But what they're made out of. I know they're called something like endothermic. Like if you put this in front of a light, like it can hold heat.
If you hold it close enough to your ear, you can hear the kids that had to mine for it. Actually,
yeah. You can hear little orphans screaming.
Before we go, real quick, is there a crystal we should buy to improve our lives?
Is there a crystal that men should buy?
Yeah. So you should buy rose quartz because you have to open up your little fucking cold heart, and we don't want you, I don't know, having a scene in that movie Psychopath where like I could see him killing a woman after sex, right?
No.
It's possible.
It's possible. Yeah. I can see it. So you need rose quartz.
It's about my pleasure, not yours.
Yeah.
That's Sean. I am very generous. Sean doesn't eat.
We have talked about how Sean does not. Sean is he's
it's not that
cunnilingus resistant is what we say.
It's not that allergic. Sean's allergic to cunnilingus.
I just usually don't have to by that point.
He says that.
What
a
girl
do
so
we need?
You need rose quartz because you need love. You need orange avertine, Avertine.
Okay.
Because you need creativity in your life. Yeah, you need.
I've been around them too much, so I need actual. Okay, got it.
You need and you need black calcite because you got to block out negative energy.
Oh,
I'm
negative?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, just a little, but like
interesting.
Just kidding.
And what rock are you missing?
A
brain.
I need parents.
I need
parents. That's why most women who have crystals, it's a call for fucking help. You know that.
No, I know. That's why when you say all this stuff,
it's when 911 doesn't answer. Okay, so
that's like,
I have to resort to witchcraft.
When you say all this stuff where you're like, I was a queen in a different life and blah, blah, blah. That's the only thing I'm thinking is this is a call for help the entire time.
Okay, but I really was a leader and I really was teaching people.
I was a leader and I was a small 3-year-old black child.
Yeah, whose parents got taken away in the slave trade, and then I got eaten by a fucking lion. Do you understand how hard my lives have been?
You're like Rachel Dozell, but with crystals.
Yeah.
Okay, Monterey, thank you so much for coming on. Do you want to plug your social media shows, whatever you got?
Yes, I am. You can find me on Instagram, Monterey M, and then you can check out my podcast, The Shamanic, where I talk about all this stuff. But it's funny and it's cute, and I read people's tarot.
Ooh. Yeah. Oh, we should have had you read our tarot cards.
Yeah. I don't have my tarot cards with me, but I will.
Damn it.
We'll another night.
We'll have to do that another time. You said, do you have any shows next week?
Yeah, I do have.
Next week it'll be a week from
next
Wednesday.
week. I'm doing the Irvine Improv on the 25th.
Hell yeah.
And on the 26th, I know I have another show. I have a show 25th, 26th, 27th, but I just know the Irvine.
I mean, you have your phone right there if you want to look it up. Well,
I
mean you might as well plug them.
See,
but
maybe
the Irvine Improv's dope. That's great.
What was the one? The rock you had, Blue Crystal.
Who are you hosting for?
I'm hosting for this guy named Rick something. I don't know his name. He's like a guy. This is bad. We cut this part out. But he's on.
I'm not cutting this out, but
Stranger Things.
interesting.
I've never met him. So like sometimes the improv
cool.
will just like
the club gave you a spot.
Yeah,
That's cool.
the club. And then but I was just there with Steve Byrne before that, and that was
You're
really
telling
fun.
me about that. You just destroyed the audience.
Oh, I was telling you about how I went off on this one cunt. She was, oh no. I was like, no, sweetheart. But yeah, okay, well, sorry.
We can cut this part out.
Yeah, you're going to cut this.
I don't really want to cut it out, but I'll just keep the
Do you want to
conversation
do
going.
you can plug our shows.
I'll plug our shows.
Yeah, you
Tour
do.
is Lava coming in hot. We'll be in Minneapolis October 2nd at the House of Comedy. San Diego Laugh Factory October 6th. Then we'll be in Plano, Texas, House of Comedy again. Possibly in Little Rock, Arkansas on the 20th and 21st. That deal is being hammered out by Alex Monarch as we speak.
It's one shit away.
And then
Louisville, Fort Wayne, and Minneapolis, of course.
Appleton,
Wisconsin. Sorry, different
Phoenix,
state.
Tacoma, Spokane, Washington.
Go on our website for all the
I
dates.
found it. It's not that big of a deal. One's at Third Wheel and one's at, they're both. One's Bridget Sell's show, the blonde one.
Yeah.
Bleached. And then the other one is Irvine, and then the other one is also at Third Wheel, Michael D'Angelo's, how he does like the Friday and Saturday nights.
Nice. He's a good dude.
I thought it was something more exciting. I'm sorry.
The Irvine Info.
I was supposed to go to Nashville with Steve on the 28th, but
this month though.
Yeah, this month. He's shooting a special.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I'm not gonna be able to go financially because I'm moving on the 1st. So it's like a whole thing.
Plug your Instagram one more time, just because.
My Instagram is Monarey MONAREYM.
Perfect.
Like Monarch.
Like Monarch. Exactly.
Thank you so much for coming on. Dylan, thank you. Jeff, thank you.
you.
Later.